side effects. You're taking drugs and more side effects. You're taking drugs and you're still sick and there's more side effects you got to deal with. You got to deal with um, diarrhea, high blood pressure, this, that, this. What is the Food and Drug Administration doing to prevent these things? They're doing nothing, but they're protecting the companies that makes these foods. It's a disgrace. It's laughable and it's a disgrace. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the lounge. Welcome to the channel. Happy that you're here today. I have not been on here for a few weeks, probably almost a month, if not a little bit more. I have been dealing with some health issues that's kept me from making any kind of content throughout all of my channels, actually. It's been really difficult with a new diagnosis and now having to change lifestyle habits and figuring out how to deal with my situation with my health. It kind of came as a blow. I spent some time in the hospital and I'm still reeling from it all, but it's all manageable. And I'm praying that I will be able to reverse this and live normal. And so, what we're talking about here, my diagnosis is that I found out that I have diabetes. And I know that just about every other person in the world has diabetes, but I didn't have it. So, I have it now. And I don't want to talk about, you know, where we are in a society where every other person has this thing, but yet we have a FDA, Food and Drug Administration, that is supposed to monitor, the amount of sugars that goes into foods, but yet how is it if they are monitoring these things and approving certain things, foods and so on, how is it that 1 out of 2 have this disease? And it doesn't seem to be any cures in the pipeline. And what I'm understanding with this is that there is so many tools that goes along with this disease. Every tool that you need, of course. Just quickly before we continue with the video, just want to say thank you again for your support through purchasing my notebooks, journals, through my Amazon authors page. You're going to see a quick video about my work there. Thank you. So every tool that you need with this disease has moving parts, and every part has a price to it. So what I'm finding out is that everybody has their hand in the diabetes cookie jar, so to speak. You've got the needles for insulin, folks. You've got the strips to test the blood. You've got the gadget to put the strips in to test the blood. You've got the lancer to plug yourself to put the blood out to test the blood. You've got the tool to put the lancet in to test the blood. Then you've got the alcohol wipes. Then you've got cotton balls and And then you've got the pills. And I mean, the tools is unbelievable. Everything that you need. And everything is a refillable 30-day supply. And every 30 days, you got to get more. And if you don't have insurance, then you're pretty much in a bad situation because you've got to check your blood constantly. And in my case, I have to check the blood about 7 times a day. Yeah, just checking it. So you're checking it in the morning, you're checking it um, before each meal, you're checking it at bedtime, and then if you've got to take insulin, in my case, you're taking it before each meal, you're taking it in the morning, and then you're taking it um, in the evening. And so that is 14 times that you are checking and stabbing yourself. So this is a lifestyle that I particularly don't want. So because I am and have always been a DIYer and a natural healer, I've never had any illnesses. Thank the Lord, I've always been blessed. So we're going to tackle this thing, and we're going to tackle it with some natural remedies. And so in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about some of those natural remedies that I am looking to do to get myself back into a healthy sugar level. So when I was hospitalized, my sugar level was 422. And I've learned that your sugar should be about 75 to about 150. That's where you live if you're in good condition. Mine was 422. And I know why it was so high. It's because for the past several months I have been incorporating I've been eating a lot of starch, a lot of carbs, a lot of sugars, because I all of a sudden I became very I had a sweet tooth. And if you go back to the channel, if you pay attention, I have a video on here when I made pecan pie, and I talked about never eating pecan pie ever in my life, and then all of a sudden I wanted it. And so it was around Thanksgiving that I first had it last year. And then I remember I was working an election, and the wife of the candidate brought the pie, and I had a piece. And on my way home from our canvassing, I stopped by the market and I picked up a pecan pie. And I probably had it in like 2 or 3 days. It was done. And then I picked up another one. And again, it was around the holiday season, so it was available everywhere. And then when the holiday was over, I was still craving it. And so I started picking it up frozen in like Publix, because I couldn't find it at my Aldi's, because that's where I shop. And so I started picking it up at Aldi's. And then I realized, okay, Aldi's is this is like I'm buying this pie for like $10. And then so I started going to Walmart. And then I found it at Walmart, and it was like $7 at Walmart. And I was like, you know what? I wonder if I can make it myself. So I started making it myself. And so that's how, because my body was craving it, and the more I gave it, the more it wanted it. And I went on this tangent for months. And so that is part of why I'm here now. It was like I couldn't say no. Like I wanted it. It was just, it's insanity. I wanted it, and I wanted it, and I had it. And so I'm thinking, well, I haven't had it now. And then if you watch the channel, when I was really making food videos and baking videos, and I had a point where I was craving, like baked beans. And I actually have a video on here that I made it from scratch. I made a whole meal setup. And again, this was my body. asking for these things, asking for it. And I just kept giving it to it, not thinking, this is bad. Like, I'm just, this is really bad. You shouldn't be doing this. Those thoughts never came in. And so as time progressed, my sugar level was growing and growing and growing. And then I started noticing that I was losing weight. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm eating a lot, right? I'm eating all the sugar, right? How is it that instead of getting bigger, I'm getting smaller? And so all of my clothes were like becoming really, really loose, like jeans that I had tough times putting on, or, things that I had a tough time putting on was now loose. And I'd given half of my wardrobe away because I'm like, I'm never going to be thin again. I'm never going to be, 130 again. So, because at the time I was like a 150, I'm guessing. I'd never really weighed myself. And so I just knew that I had gotten, I was losing weight. And so I was like, okay. And then I'm looking at my face, I'm looking at my pictures, I'm like, gosh, my face is so thin. And again, those were some of the symptoms that I just was not paying attention to. And I was eating a lot, but yet I was not gaining any weight. So that was that's how my mind worked out. So I don't know how other people's worked out, but that's how it was working out for me. And of course, there was this constant parchness, thirstiness that that I knew something was wrong, and so I just didn't realize, what was happening. But eventually, God made a way, and He got me into the ER, and they, you know, saw what was happening to me, strapped me up to machines, IVs, the whole bit, a whole bunch of drippings going into my body. Um, and I was like, whoa, wow, I guess this is really serious. Oh God, yeah, 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 it's serious. You could have died. And I was like, oh my God. But God kept me because He's got work for me to do. And I'm not depressed about it. I'm not angry about it. I'm just, what I am angry about, I'll have to tell you, is that we live in a society where sugar has overtaken everything that we eat. And so yes, I consumed it, and I hold myself responsible. But we live in a society where the majority of our foods are everything is consumed with sugar. Everything is overly supply of sugar. Everything you if it's not a vegetable, and then I'm finding out certain vegetables too, I have to stay away from. So there's vegetables that's naturally sweet, and again, this is my lesson that I'm learning, all right? So, this is my journey. So I'm sharing my journey. And so these sugary fruits, I love bananas and peanut butter. That's one of my go-to. I'm like, I'm healthy. I eat bananas and peanut butter. Well, guess what, friend? The sugar in bananas is overwhelming. So you can't even have a whole banana. You got to have a half because it's that sweet, and it will spike the blood sugar. It's like it's a banana. It's fruit, but it has a lot of sugar. And when you combine it with peanut butter, which has sugar also, because whatever you're buying out of the market, they've added sugar to it. So the peanut butter itself has sugar, even though you think, oh, it's just peanut butter. No, it's not just peanut butter. It's got peanut butter and a whole bunch of stuff in it, carbs, sugar, and so on. And so when you're combining that, you're getting your sweets, but you're also putting sugar in. And so learning that you can't even have a whole banana, I was like, oh my God, I can't even have a whole banana. You can only have half. And half of the banana is about 15 grams. I'm learning all this stuff. 15 grams of carbs. And I'm like, wow, if you have a whole banana, that can just throw me over the cliff. So learning it, my lessons to learn. Never worried about these things, never thought about these things, never cared about these things. Didn't, you know, until now. And I have family members, my mother, who has diabetes, and I never really um took the time to really understand what she was going through. I just know she takes pills and she takes the drugs and she's good. But I never really thought, that it could happen to me. And if I, really paid attention, you know, my circumstance could have been different. But you know what? This is my journey to learn, and it's probably to help other people as well, because it's my journey, it's my story to tell. So again, I'm learning different ways to eat, but I really want to say to folks that we really live in a country where I believe, and this is my personal thoughts and ideas, I believe that we are being murdered, being killed through our foods, and the Food and Drug Administration is guilty of not really protecting the people through food and drugs. And we live in a society where so many people suffer from this, but yet there's no incentive to fix this because, like I said, everybody has their hand in the pot, everybody's making money off of this, and they want people sickly, they want people on insulin, they want people on all of these different drugs. So I made a short about this on another on my political channel when I went for my checkup a couple of days ago, and the doctors are saying, yeah, we want to put you on this for this. They want to put me on more pills and more drugs. And I'm just like, doc, what you've got me on already, it's already too much. Now you want to put me on more pills to prevent this, to prevent that, to prevent this. I said, look, we're going to go through this the natural way because this is something that can be reversed, and I'm not going to be hooked on all these different chemicals. It's not happening. I'm not going to live like that. I'm not going to live like some goddamn guinea pig being poked and throttled at every turn. No, we're going to fix this. And I've had this body for all of these years. I just celebrated a birthday. And so I know my body, and I know I should have listened to her when she was talking to me about that something was wrong with me, and I didn't listen. But I do know my body, and I do know that with a good diet, with greens, vegetables, we're going to put the sugar, all that down. And I mean, I stopped drinking several years ago, so don't worry about the booze anymore. Thank God for that. And so don't worry about that. So now it's just vegetables and greens, and living with green smoothies and things like that. And I'm actually attempting to do the one meal a day setup where I have green smoothies, I have my tea, which I'm trying to have right now, excuse me while I have it. And this is another addition to my diet: Ceylon tea, and with vinegar and lemon juice. So, and a stick of cinnamon for just flavor. So I do my tea, and I do a green mixed smoothie in the morning. Lots of greens, a little bit of fruit, maybe a small piece of banana, and some protein and so on. Protein mix in there. That's my breakfast. And then for lunch, 2 o'clock ish, I have my one meal for the day, which will be protein, greens, salad, however I go with it. And then in the evening, afternoon, about 7 or so, I'll have another smoothie, greens, so on. And that's going to be pretty much where I live. And we're going to watch these numbers dwindle on this with this sugar. We're going to watch it. And before you know it, I'm going to reverse it. My A1C that they did was 16 and a half. I was like at 16. The normal is 7, 6 or 7. I was at 16. So, and I know, again, because of the course of it monitors you for the past 3 months of how you've incorporated food. And so for the past 3 months, I've incorporated a lot of starch, a lot of carbs, and so on, and sugar. So the numbers were 16. The doctor said they'd never seen it that high before. And they weighted me at the hospital the other day. I was 137 pounds. And so, yeah, the doctor said they had never seen it the way they did. But again, God is with Amanya. God is with me. So God protects me and takes care of me at all level in my life. So I'm good. But I still have to do what I need to do here in the physical. So that's my plan, is to narrow it down to greens and so on as I bring down this A1C. They're not going to check it again for another 6 months or so. I'm praying that by that time that I will be down to the 7. If not the 7, at least 10. Because again, I was at 16. It's not going to happen overnight. And I've always been a person who exercise, thanks to Rocky the dog, my dog, who walks me 3 times, 4 times a day now. So now we really take emphasis on walking in the morning. So I do 30 minutes. I've always done that. And that's one of the reasons I know my body is going to reverse this, because I've always stayed physically healthy. I've always stayed, in shape and so on. So I've never really been out of shape. And so I know my body's going to reverse. So Rocky walks me 30 minutes in the morning. So now I may kick it up and do a little bit more. I'm and then we walk in the daytime and then the evening. So I've got the walking down, but I want to do a little bit extra. And I used to be in the gym years ago, and I stopped going to the gym because I walk so much. So I've made an appointment. I'm going to be going to a nearby gym to see what their setup is. And so I'm going to be joining and seeing how I like it. They have a steam room and a sauna, which is going to be awesome. That was my priority, or my I wanted a gym that had a steam room, if not a steam room, sauna, both. I needed that because I enjoy steaming and things like that. So the gym has that, so I'm happy that I'm going to be able to um see that. So I have a walkthrough with them next week, and so I'm starting to put the pieces in place. And currently, right now, I'm still working, and I'm working on a campaign right now. And so I have an election coming up in a few weeks. So I've been hard on the campaign trail, canvassing and distribution of literature, signs, and so on. And so that again has put a lot of exercise in, because I'm moving a lot with that. So I'm getting my workout in. So once the election is over, November 7th, oh, thank you, Jesus. Hopefully we'll get in. I'm praying that my guy will get in. And so once the election is over, I will now refocus, because I will no longer be doing all of these functional activities that I've been doing. So now my focus will be going to the gym to get additional workouts in. And so I tell you, it's been quite the roller coaster, being diagnosed with this. And, but again, it is my journey, and it is my story to tell. And I've had some drawbacks thus far. And you probably don't know this because I probably never said it. So a couple of years ago, 2017, I did LASIK on my eyes. So I always used to wear glasses from like 16 and up. And so back in 2017, I did the LASIK on my eyes. And so I've had perfect vision. But with this diabetes diagnosis, it actually came out of nowhere. just a few weeks ago, my vision started being blurred. So it's not very focused. And so they say that that's part of what happens. So I'm praying to God again, because people can go blind with this, that God is going to remedy my situation, and my vision will not become an issue. And so we're praying for that. So I wanted to just come on here and just tell you all about what's happening to me and what's going on. And the channel has been growing, and I know people are subscribing, and I have one video on here that's really it's taken off really, really well. It's that Reverend Ike video. And I'm telling you, with Reverend Ike and my trust in God, I'm going to reverse this thing. It's going to be good. I'm going to reverse it. You're going to hear Amanya Salas has reversed her diabetes. She no longer has a problem with sugar in her blood. So, because I believe in affirmations, as you all know, I believe in the power of the scriptures. I believe in the meditation of connecting to spirit, to God. I believe in these things. And so I'm believing in right now and declaring it right now in the name of Jesus that I will be fine. My vision will be fine. My body will be fine. My sugar is going to be normalized. I will live between 75 and 150 sugar wise. That's where I'm going to live. And so I've declared it in the name of Jesus. It is done. So that's going to be the video. I wanted to just talk about these things just a little bit. And I don't blame the Food and Drug Administration for my choices and how I've eaten, but I do blame the Food and Drug Administration for not really being a protector of the people. They protect the food companies and not the people. They protect the drug companies and not the people. So therefore, people are dying with something that they should not be dying from. People are hooked on medications where they should not be hooked on these medications, because the Food and Drug Administrations, the FDA, again, y'all know this is not my political channel, but we still have to have we have to have these common sense conversations, right? This is a common sense conversation. The Food and Drug Administration have failed the people. And like presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy says, he may just do away with these administrations that are useless to the people, such as the FDA. So I'm on board with that, because they are not doing their duty to protect the people. When you look at these foods, everything is consumed by sugar. Everything that you eat that is not fresh is consumed by sugar. And who knows, all of the chemicals that they're putting in to even make your vegetables and your fruits, all of that, the chemicals, again, food and drugs, all of that is probably doing harm. Not probably, but again, Food and Drug Administration failing the people at every single turn. Why are they there? I couldn't tell you. But Vivek Ramaswamy says he will do away with them. He will do away with them. So I'm paying attention to the election. I'm paying attention to the candidates and what they're saying, and you should too, because this happened to me, and I know it happens to so many people, so many Americans. America, you need to really understand what these agencies are for. Again, we're focusing on the food and drug right now. Why are you here, Food and Drug Administration, if you're not protecting we the people? Because all of these companies are putting chemicals in foods that are killing the people. but yet you're in existence to monitor, to make sure. And then you approve drugs that has 1,000 different side effects. You know, they say it's going to cause, I'm going to pause right here and take a sip of my tea. All of these different side effects. You see these commercials, they tell you to take this. You got this problem, take this, and you got 5 different side effects from that one drug. What's the point? What's the point? You got 5 different side effects from one drug. And then they add more, and then they add more. You're taking drugs and more side effects. You're taking drugs and you're still sick, and there's more side effects you got to deal with. You got to deal with um, diarrhea, high blood pressure, this, this. What is the Food and Drug Administration doing to prevent these things? They're doing nothing, but they're protecting the companies that makes these foods. It's a disgrace. It's laughable and it's a disgrace. And again, friends, they are killing us through our food slowly. And that's why diseases are coming up left, right, and center. In my humble opinion, so that YouTube doesn't decide to not let this video go out there because I'm talking about the government and the Food and Drug Administration. These are a real truths that I'm talking about here. How can we live in a society where every other person has this disease? And another thing I thought about, diabetes is one disease where you have to constantly prick holes into your body to get the medication, to test the blood. And what I've realized is that this disease is a disease where you can be prone to sores. And so your body doesn't heal the way it should because, your sores don't heal properly. And so here you are pricking holes into your body, making sores. I mean, they're tiny needles but you're making sores. I thought, wow, a disease that tells you your flesh doesn't heal proper, and the way they test your flesh is to prick holes in it, is to prick sores into your body. I just thought that was kind of ironic. Again, my journey learning all of these things. So, friends, I'm going to end this. I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about what's happening to me. And as my journey goes, I will continue to talk about these things here and what I'm doing to make myself reverse this thing. And so, but I am going to start making videos again. I am going to start making shorts again. Even though the shorts don't take off as much, they're not getting a lot of views. And I've got to just figure out a way to continue to feed this channel so it can grow. It's growing. I've doubled the subscription in the last 2 months. And so it's good. And again, I've had this channel for many, many years. I just never really took YouTube seriously. But with my other channel, I have taken it seriously, and I see that this channel um is growing, and I want to continue to feed it. And again, I don't want to talk politics here. If you want to catch me talking politics, you can go to my Conservative Poet channel. And of course, I launched a new podcast several months ago, and it's called City Talk. And that one is focused on local city politics, currently, like the job that I'm doing now with the candidate for mayor. And also, I talk to candidates on there, I talk to community leaders in reference to city politics. And so it's called City Talk Politics, and you can catch that also. I have a channel that I created for that. And on there I do interviews, and it's a great platform, and it's growing. I'm building it. Like I said, it just launched a few months ago. I'm about 8 episodes in. But again, with my sickness, I haven't been able to really get interviews going and so on. But once I get a plan and a schedule with this, I will be able to get more interviews going, which is really, really great. I have some great people lined up. Being in this political realm, you'd be amazed at the amount of people that I meet. And so I have great folks to interview. It's just pretty much sitting down and getting it done. And I think also on my conservative poet channel, um, I may turn some of my episodes into podcast episodes, but that's where I just let loose with the political talk. The city talk politics is more reserved, more conservative, where I'm really doing interviews, and it's a more, professional setup. Where on the conservative poet, where I just let loose, I just let go, and I talk it all day. But here on this channel, we are more food, lifestyle, and hair, and things like that. So, but I don't want to talk politics on here. I try not to, but I really wanted to make the point with my diagnosis that the Food and Drug Administration truly is failing we the people. And so, with that being said, I'm going to end this, and I want to say thank you all to all the new subscribers that has joined this channel, that has joined me here. Thank you all. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you spending time and sharing the videos, because like I said, we've doubled in the last 2 months. And I want to continue to feed this channel with some great content. And even if we focus on, diabetes and my lifestyle journey, and going in a different route and what I'm doing here, but we're going to continue to focus on affirmations and the scriptures and these things, because that's where I am in life. And I really just want to continue to bring that, and we'll be looking at more Reverend Ike videos and other content that brings, hope and so on here. So I thank you all so much. God bless you. God keep you. And I will see you in another video. Thank you, and God bless.